All right, welcome back to the movement, everybody. I have today a very special guest, an esteemed real estate agent. So I was about to say realtor. I was getting fucking mixed up with broker.
Well, at least you didn't say it wrong. A relator.
You know what I'm saying?
Know how
so
people say realtor.
I just got my GED, you know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. So English isn't my strong suit, but we're going to talk to you about real estate today. We're sitting on the largest housing bubble in the G7 right now. Give you some tips and tricks, maybe what you can do with your money at the same time and just have a good time.
Yeah.
We have Dejan Marjanovic, one of my fellow kings, my co-host. Poor guy left into the end, David Diabetes, you know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
You just have to keep it like that, you know?
Unbelievable.
Why?
What do you mean, fam?
Today is all about Dino. This is my guy right
It's
here.
all good. It's all good, bro.
We'll go back in time, man. Holy
What are we looking
smokes.
back? 2004, 5, 6?
Exactly, 2004, man. Yo, we're old.
Yeah.
2008, we left high school.
2008.
Yeah.
Wow.
2007 or
No,
something
he
like
was
that.
2012. He left high school 2012.
I didn't even finish, bro. They booted me out. Yeah, they were so nice to me.
It was
They're
good
like,
times, man. It was good times, but it's in the past now. But it's funny how we've changed a lot, right? But still the same people.
That's 100%.
You know?
That was a good time, man. I can't complain, you know? We were rambunctious as kids, and then here we are. It's incredible to be able to look now and be like, wow, you know, look at what you've built for yourself.
Actually made something of yourself, huh?
You know what I'm saying? So tell that
That's good.
teacher, whoever said I was going to be a failure, bullshit. You know what I mean? You lied.
It's bro, when I look back at it, like looking back at high school, I'm like, there's maybe 2 teachers that I can say like, wow, these guys actually made a positive impact in my life.
Who, PK?
No, for me it was Mr. Morrison and Mr. Jones.
What school was
Mr.
this?
Jones? It's Robert Borden. Remember Mr. Jones?
Bro, I don't
Your
even know
buddy?
what I was never even there, bro. I was there like 3 days.
Hey, bro,
3
listen,
days a semester.
He bought
bro.
a phone off you.
He did it? Oh, shit.
He bought like the first
Wasn't
iPhone.
he the one on the bicycle?
Yeah, bro. He was
Yeah, he was a
biking from
gangster, man.
Barhaven to Greenbank, from Barhaven to SRB.
That's right.
Every day.
Even in the
Bro, my
winter.
dad used to drive me to school, middle of winter, minus 40. This guy has a snowsuit on his bike from Barhaven, all the way down Greenbank. The
That's wild.
loneliest road you'll ever see.
That's a fact.
Oh,
in the
the
middle of
worst, the
winter.
worst,
Yeah.
bro.
8 a.m. and then 4 p.m. he does it again. I'm like, my dad's looking at the guy. He's like, is this guy crazy? What's wrong with this guy?
I bet you this guy has the best heart friggin' cardiovascular condition in the world. The stamina this man has is probably unbelievable.
Crazy.
He's the Terry Fox of Ottawa. That's what we used to call him.
He definitely has
That's
a
a
healthy
fact.
heart, for sure.
Huh?
He definitely has a healthy heart.
Cardiovascular?
Yeah.
Listen, man, you don't even know nothing about fitness anyway, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay. We're leaving him out of this on the side.
In cardiovascular condition? What the hell are you talking about?
What do you think? I'm a fitness guru, bro? Look at me. I just started losing weight.
You look
know?
great.
Give a guy some
This
credit.
guy
You look
used to be in good
fantastic.
shape.
Give a guy some credit that just started losing the weight, you know?
Yeah.
We're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, remember what you looked like in high school, bro? You're a beast.
Unbelievable. And then I'm
Yeah.
fat as shit now. Can't believe it.
You know what, bro? You're on a progressive journey. You're losing a lot of weight.
You know what?
Right.
It's crazy how if you think about how we were in high school.
Eating
How-
everything, doing whatever we wanted.
And the crazy part is how they expect these kids to have their whole lives figured out and then just jump straight to university and then boom. And then the path you end up actually going on later on in life is completely different than the ones they try to set you up on. I always find it baffling. I'm not talking shit about it. I always find it very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you a lot of foundation elements in high school, but nothing more than that.
Why real estate, man?
It was
Curiosity.
only like the last couple of years I started thinking about it. If I knew more about it, like when I was in high school, like you're saying, or if I knew different career opportunities back when I was 17, 18, then I wouldn't have gone down the original path that I went on. But like, so I started when I finished high school, I went and did wireless systems communications and engineer at Algonquin. I did it for 6 months, hated it. A bunch of, bro, I can't even remember. Anyways,
why? Because of MDG?
no,
Because you
so like
guys
my
work at
dad
the
had a
computer
computer
store?
store when we were younger, obviously, but like yeah, that had a little bit of an influence. I was like, oh, whatever, you know, I'll do some tech, maybe get a decent job, whatever, 30, 40 bucks an hour. That's the dream, you know? And then I did that for 6 months, met a couple of nice buddies there, and then I was like, man, this is not for me. So I dropped it. A year later, that course is like expunged, doesn't even exist.
No way.
I was gonna say I've never heard of that.
Bro, the guys that were going there there were some smart guys there.
Yeah.
Literally, they went and did the whole course for 2 years, got nothing out of it.
No way.
Imagine that. Spend like probably like what, 15, 16, 18
2
grand
years. Plus
on 2 years
yeah.
of Algonquin, right? So I did that for 6 months. Then I went and did computer engineering for a year. Hated it too. Thought I loved it at the beginning and then didn't like it. And then I transitioned. I went into business management, and then I was like, you know what, time to just hit the workforce. And I went to work in cell phones.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Those
No,
are
cell
the
phones was fun,
days.
man. It was good money for when you're a young guy or a young girl,
It was
whatever.
great.
Bro, you're
money for
making
when
like
you're
20 years, bro, you're 20 years old, you're making 60 to 70, 80 grand.
Mm.
Living in your mom's basement, who cares?
Clean
What do
money
you
or
care?
dirty money?
No,
you
no,
know?
clean for
That
sure.
salary, that's on
Yeah.
the T4, right?
Yeah, that's on the T4. Like, who knows what other people were doing, right? But man, and then I transitioned from that, and I still wanted to be in sales. I became really good at sales, and then I went into car sales. I worked at Nissan first for a year, and then I went to Mercedes, and I hit a groove there. Worked there for 5 years, and it was great. Learned a lot, met a lot of great people, a lot of good mentors, a lot of people that taught me pretty much everything I know. And then I moved up from that and moved into a management role at a Kia dealership. It was tough. Like, it was good because you had a sense of, like, you had a title, right? Like, everybody like gets hyped up about a certain title or a role.
Yeah.
And like it's like when you're working for somebody, you get this like, how do I even explain this? Like, you get this like feeling of like excitement because somebody's like holding this thing above you as a pet on a pedestal, right? It's like, you know, you do well, you can get this management position, you got this, you know, you'll be making this, you'll be doing this, you'll be doing that, blah blah blah, right?
Acknowledgement.
Yeah, and then you get there, and then you're like, okay, this is not not exactly
Were you the type that swings that around and lays it on the line, or were you like easygoing and you came with a velvet glove? What kind of manager were you? Did you walk in and just swing down the hammer?
I was real, bro. I was just like, there was no, like, I can't hide emotion. For me, if I don't like you, you're gonna know right away, right? If I love you, we're gonna become best friends in 10 minutes. No issues about that, right? And then like a lot of my guys that work with me, same thing. Like we all got along great. I was like a salesperson's dream, right? Like, you just get there, fight with them, not fight with them, but like move with them instead of go against them, right? So I was very I tried to be as motivating as possible because I came up from the salesperson role, right? So it's like, I know how shitty it is to be like, to have the shit coming down. And then
So you were a sales manager, you weren't F&I.
yeah, no.
Oh.
So I went from salesperson, sales manager, well, it was different. Like, even there, like, I was doing like probably 95% of the work of the whole dealership, but you know, you had a certain role, right? And then at a certain point, I was like, you know what? I really want to get into real estate. I saw a lot of people that looked like they were killing it, right? Quote unquote. Everybody looks like they're killing it in real estate. You know, you make a few videos.
Everyone smells good. It actually is behind them looks like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah, so well, that's what it is too, and I did that a lot too. Like, even in my earlier career, as you know, I was like always the youngest person on the sales floor, or youngest person in this, or you know, when they hired me as a manager, like, oh, you're the youngest sales manager we've ever had. So it's like, you're
really
always
at 30 years old.
No, I was like, how old? I was like, I'm like 32 now. I was 27 when they hired me.
Oh, as a sales manager, you're 27.
Yeah, so that's pretty young.
Wow,
like, you're below 30, right? And you're managing a whole dealership. So it's like, it's a pretty,
it's pretty
and
young.
all the guys that are above you, they're like in their 40s and 50s. So it's like, like, I remember one time I logged on to, it was like the start of COVID, and we had like one of our first few manager meetings for like the whole group. And I log on and I just see the screen. It's just bald head, bald head, bald head, bald head.
Yes.
Bald head. Bald head.
Seasoned
bald
very
head,
well.
bald
You
head,
know what I mean?
Bald head. Bald head. Me, I'm like, I can't be like that.
They didn't look like the Doug Trios, eh?
Bro, these guys were like 40 to 50. I'm like, man, I can't look like that at 40, 50 years old. Like, what are you working? You're making a salary, and you're working 70 hours a week, and you're just stressed all the time. What kind of life is that?
Slavery,
man. It's like, it's insane. Like, you're a slave to this like system that you've gotten hyped up to get this role and to like do this position, and like, you think you're so high and mighty, but it's like, man, you still have some guy that's giving you orders every month. You know, you guys sell okay, you guys do great, you kill it, you sell 100 cars this month. Guess what's waiting for you September 1st? 125, baby. Let's hit it again.
And you're like, fuck, just the ball keeps
and then
going.
what happens when you hit it? You get
time.
the
you hit it. So you hit 125. Congrats, brother. 150 next month. Let's go.
Let's have a pizza party.
Yeah.
A pizza party.
Yeah.
Wait until you don't hit it.
Yeah.
You go into that fucking Saturday boardroom, bro.
Bro, you miss it by 5 cars.
What the fuck?
Come on, guys. You guys can do better than that.
Wow.
Wow, that's how they talk.
No,
Bro,
it's like
Larry was the worst.
it's condescending. It's all that condescending BS where you're just like, you start questioning, like, why am I here, man? And then that's where the question started coming up, and I was like, man, why am I doing this? I don't love it. I haven't loved the job probably for 3 years or 2 years, whatever it was. I can't even remember. Like that. It feels like 10 years ago how long it's been, and I've only been in real estate for 2 years. So I said, you know what? Let me try something else. So I started working on getting my real estate license. And then COVID hit, and they laid me off because I was one of the newer managers. So they gave me like the CERB stuff or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're going to have to lay you off for the next couple of months or whatever, how long it takes. Whatever it was. I can't remember.
And you're like, I didn't want to go back anyways.
I was like, sounds good, man. So I just went home, grinded, and worked on getting my license as fast as possible. Got my license, or no, it was like they called me back to work after like 6 months. They're like, yeah, you got your job back, whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. Let me make a couple bucks more and finish up this license, and that was it. And then worked 3 more months, got my license, and that was it. Transitioned into real estate, and it's been 2 years tomorrow.
What would you say is the biggest difference between working for someone and now transitioning into working for yourself?
Accountability. Accountability. You have to be very real with yourself, and you have to be accountable of what you want to do and what you want to set aside and get done. And like, it's so easy to get distracted.
Bro, I love that you said that, because I feel like so many people don't understand when someone's not giving you a schedule and you have to create that schedule for yourself.
You want. Yeah.
Like, you have to be so accountable to what you're doing
and stuff.
Yeah. Like I'm sure you know this too, but you got to put like I have to put groceries in my schedule.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it, man.
Like, it's an hour and a half, probably.
As crazy
right?
as that sounds, my wife literally has like Apple Notes, and then she just, I got a ping, and then, all right.
At least it's in there, right? Like, it's like, I got super busy. Like, this year was a really good year for me. Like, thank God. And yeah, like you said, we're in a housing bubble, but sometimes in those down years, you have to work, you know. I heard this quote, it's a little bit cheesy, but like, races aren't won on the straightaways. They're won in the turns.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So that's 100%. That's a fact.
So now the market's in a downward turn, or whatever you want to call it. I put in more emphasis, and I started working harder and harder. So that when we are on a straightaway, we're 10 times faster than what we were.
I thought you were gonna chuck a quote like that. That quote that says, "When times are good, everyone looks like geniuses, but when shit hits the fan, that's when you see who the real G's are."
True, that's true too.
And then that's why I thought you know what? Let's bring it before we get to the housing bubble. I want to talk about sales a little bit, since you've been in the sales game for so long. You know, what is one of the biggest key takeaways that you took in terms of the sales tactics from the dealership world? Because honestly, they did a fantastic job in my eyes, in my opinion. What was the biggest key takeaways from that? Like, how did it really make you grow as a sales guy?
Making relationships and not caring about sales. That was the biggest thing.
Establishing human to human relationships.
I love it, man.
100%.
I had no need. I can confidently look back and say I never sold anything. I just made a friend and sold something in the process.
That's right.
And that was simple as that. I would never put on a sleazy act. I would never do anything. It was just, hey, you know, you're looking for this. Let me show you some options. Let me explain this. And for me, my biggest thing was, you know, talking about the product and not overhyping the product, but explaining what the good and the bad and the ugly are, right? So it's not just, you know, I was selling Mercedes. Yeah, it's a great car, but you know, hey, I'm looking at this, and this car. A lot of people would ask me, okay, well, I'm looking at the BMW, I'm looking at the Audi, I'm looking at the Mercedes. Great.
You know, bro, having that sales approach, that sales ideology, 100% made it so seamless for you to go into real estate, because like that's exactly.
It was a big change from those two industries too. But like I was trying to it was just like when somebody would ask me, you know, like, why should I buy the Benz over the BMW or the Audi? I'm like, man, it doesn't matter. Buy the one that you like.
It's preference.
They're both. All three of them are expensive.
They're all German.
You know? they're all German. They're all really good cars. You know, are the payments going to be $10, $15 difference apart depending on the car and the model you take? Yeah, for sure. But which one do you like the most, right? Like when you're buying that kind of car, I don't think it even matters about how much it is. It's what you want to drive.
Yeah.
There's some people that they'll never drive a BMW. There's some people that I only drive Audis, right? And whatever. Like, it's just preference.
Is it the microphone? Oh, I just got to put the mic a little.
Like this.
But
I know your face is too pretty, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what's crazy with Audi
Yeah.
is I forgot what video I was watching, but like a lot of like those Lamborghini Uruses
Yeah.
are just like Audi parts.
Yeah, it's all built on Audi chassis, right?
That's so fucked.
Yeah. But like there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's nice.
Like,
Audi's
it's all
nice.
interchangeable. Even like Nissan owns a lot of I think what do they own? Renault. The Renaults are in Europe. They're not here, but it's all Nissan parts and stuff like that.
But imagine buying like a Urus and then you're taking it apart and you're just seeing a bunch of Audi signs.
Well, bro, like
I'd be pissed.
Well, you look at you drive an Audi, you go look at the brake caliper and it says Audi Volkswagen.
It's wild.
So
this guy started off with an A4 in high school, bro. You know what I mean?
did I? Oh yeah, I
A4?
did.
Come on, man. He's an Audi guy, bro.
That Audi, what is it, Q8 or Q7?
Q8, I think.
The Q8. That one's basically like a Lambo.
Yeah, that's the Urus chassis.
That's literally it's the Urus, but like it's an Audi.
Yeah, you get the RSQA and that thing's beautiful, man. That thing's unreal. But yeah, that's yeah.
So what's your advice to people that are trying to get into real estate right now? Because it ain't roses out there right now.
No, it's not. Sure. But my advice would be to find what you're good at and focus on people that people in that area, right? Like so let's say you're coming from a sports background, you played, football your whole life. I would focus on the relationships you made there because at the end of the day, it's a relationships game. And the more people you know and the more people know that you're in real estate will contact you for help.
So what do you think right now in terms of we're sitting on the largest housing bubble? I get a lot of bullshit cookie cutter answers from most realtors anyway, so we're chucking you on the spot.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I answer the question. What do you think what's your advice right now? If I'm a client looking to buy,
so
right, and your fiduciary obligations start actually giving me the best.
Honest. You're 100%.
I'll spit a few facts out.
Talk to me here about real estate.
For me, I make my opinions based on facts. Okay. So right now, there's a stat that's from the States. So States is very similar to Canada, not exactly the same, but sometimes you can't get the same data in Canada. So I'll spit out a fact here. So right now there's 50% less mortgage applications than there was in the peak of the pandemic.
Because of interest rates, right?
Yeah. So that's 50% less applications coming in. That's 50% less people buying. That's a fact. Probably because they can't afford it. Probably because everything's expensive. Groceries are expensive. Gas is expensive.
That's a fact.
That's all factoring into it, right? The thing we have in Canada is Canada's lots of immigration. I'm an immigrant. You're an immigrant. I'm assuming you're an immigrant too.
It's confused.
What do you
Were you
think?
born here or did you come here or did your parents come here?
I'm born here.
Yeah, but your parents came here what, or late 90s?
Immigrants, bro. We're all immigrants.
Yeah, so we're all product of that, right? So basically, immigration has spiked since the last, couple of years? We're already low on supply. Like my biggest thing is I watch the market every day. I see how many houses are coming up for sale. And right now, we've gotten a lot of the people that couldn't sell to get their money back from what they've invested. They said, you know what, I'll just rent it. And
so they're turning into a rental property.
Into a rental. And the people that can't afford to get a mortgage, what do you think they're doing?
They're renting.
They're renting, 100%.
So now the rental rates are up.
Yeah, the vacancy rate in Canada is at the lowest it's ever been.
Well, what's the average rental right now? $2,000, $2,100?
It's not about
something like that. But
it's not about the average number. It's about the vacancy rate.
Yeah.
Like there's literally no vacant homes, even in the boonies.
Yeah.
There's like no vacant homes.
Is that what you're seeing?
I'm about to list a 2-bed, 1-bath rental, and I'll be shocked if it lasts more than 10 days on the market.
You're gonna get like 30 applications immediately.
Yeah, like if I put just me making a Facebook or Kijiji ad on about this rental, I'll get probably 10 calls in the first 2 days.
So then let me ask you this. What's your vetting process when you're looking at applicants then?
For a rental?
Yeah. Since a lot of people
So
know.
right now, because it's so hot, if you have under a 750 credit score or even under 700, you're probably not getting it.
Yeah.
If you don't have a cosigner, you're not getting it. If you have a low credit score, if you're maybe if you're providing a couple of months up front, like 3-4 months, you might get it. But
imagine that
down payment.
No, this is actually facts. It's fucked up because there's so many applicants, sellers, or the people who are like renting out, like landlords.
Yeah,
they have the ability to sit down and like really nitpick what they want.
Yeah,
they can nitpick.
So you're telling me
right
right now you're not doing first and last anymore, and people are actually doing 3-4 months.
You are,
ahead.
but people want the property so bad that they're willing to give 3 or 4 months.
But like let me tell you this. Like, let's say you come to me, you have a job in the government, your wife has a job in the government, you have a 2-year-old kid, and you both have an 800 credit score. You guys are getting it probably. You guys are probably getting the property over anybody else. That's That's the perfect tenant.
Yeah.
An 800 credit.
Is there like a stigma against large families as well? 4 kids. Or
no, for sure. More wear and tear.
Yeah,
bro. You have 4 kids in there with 2 adults. That's 6 people. The kids
You're gonna get a lot of bullshit applications after this podcast. I only got like 1 kid. There's 3. You know what I mean? On one bunk bed. You know.
Well,
people are
man.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so stuff like that. So going back to the housing bubble and all that stuff. So do I think, like, again, every time I introduce a new client, I go through the stats of the market and I show them what's going on. And do I see prices dropping down? It's really hard to say. It's hard for me to say yes, because we just went through the last year. Rates went up like crazy, and
prices
dropped 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Prices dropped enough where people were like, "Oh, this is a deal. I'm jumping in." So how many more times? So let's say it drops another 10%. I'm probably going to make 50 sales.
And then you're going to get a wave.
You know how many people I have in my database are like, "Dean, you know what? Prices are too high, but set me up so I can see when the prices are coming down." And I set them up. I say, "Okay, watch. This is the neighborhood we're watching. You want to be only in Findlay Creek, or you only want to be in Barhaven, or you want to be in Canada Lakes? Great. Let's set you up so you see everything that happens in that neighborhood. Every time that something pops up that sells in that neighborhood. So instead of them just seeing the new properties, I give them the data of what it sells for and how many days it took to sell and what price point it sold at.
Yeah.
So instead of them just seeing, oh, it's listed at $1 million, they say, oh, this one listed at $1 million, but it sold for $890 and it took 75 days to sell. They're like, okay, so there's some deals out there. You see what I mean? Instead of, just waiting and waiting. Like, if you don't have a plan, you're not going to get anything. But a lot of these people, if you could talk to an experienced real estate agent, you get a plan forward, you can get a good deal. It's just finding the deal in the certain market. And I think at the end of the day, it also comes down to, do you need to move? If you don't need to move and you're happy where you're at, then who cares? Just stay where you're at.
That's a fact. I think a lot of people get that FOMO.
Yeah.
Especially, I find even a lot of sellers right now are very unrealistic, because I work with a lot of you guys, right? And a lot of them are unrealistic, and they always like to chuck. They live in the past. What do you mean? A year ago, they were just, I was about to list at $1,050,000. It's not a year ago, buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to live in today's time.
But you know what, though?
You missed that,
But even with like missing that, I feel like it's not even FOMO anymore. It's more supply and demand, because with like Trudeau's immigration policy, which he was touching on a little earlier, there's too many people here, not enough houses. So maybe with interest rates being high right now, people are like, whatever. But within like the next, 1 or 2 years, and things start to shift a little bit, and we still have that high, amount of people that are in the country.
That's not going to change, because the government needs to cut the red tape on building. I'm not going to name the builders because I work with them.
So here's another one.
Yeah.
So 25% of builders are canceling their projects.
100%.
Yeah, because they can't afford it.
Can't
afford it.
How would you?
So where's our supply going? It's going down again. So that's my other thing.
Inventory is like super low.
If you can afford it now and you need to move, then do it. Because when rates go down, what's going to happen? Like, you tell me.
Oh, there's going to be a wave of people going.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're still seeing bidding wars now. Like, if it's the right property and it's priced correctly, and that, I'm going to emphasize that, priced correctly. That is like the one thing. Like, a property that's priced correctly is going to get a bidding war. Not crazy. It's not going to go 50, 60, 70, 80 grand, 100 grand over. But, you might get 3-4 people interested, and they might go, 5, 10, 15 grand over. $5 grand.
Either way, sure. Multiple offers is amazing.
Yeah, and like if it's the right home and it's better than everything that's comparable in the last 6 months or even 3 months, then does it not justify for you to pay a little bit over if it's way better?
It's just about the monthly payments, because like with people with the interest rates,
but people are making it happen.
I know, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are like defaulting, because if you buy a house for like 500,000 or like 600,000. You're paying what like last year would have been like on $1 million house, like paying $3 or $4K.
Yeah.
Or you're paying $3 or $4K a month for a freaking townhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, with that plus inflation, plus that stupid carbon tax.
I don't think the housing is going to change for a little bit, and in terms of actually making a real change, for the fact that what was that bogus number that they threw out the other day? There has to be there's a threshold of homes that have to be built to keep up with current demand.
Oh, we're
Oh my God,
way
it's-
below that,
bro. It's like
No, but what was that number?
It was like 3 million. Or,
no,
yeah.
that was the real number. 3.2 million is a real
Yeah.
number.
It's like
1.5 or 1.6.
1.5 by 2030 or something like that.
But
which
we need way more.
And then we
than
need
that.
3.2 now.
Yeah.
Though.
My one biggest thing is what I never understood is, so obviously the U.S. has a very big population. What are they at? 350, 360?
Yeah, around
something
that.
like that.
They're like in
Whatever
almost
number
400
it is.
million. Yeah.
And what are we at here?
36.
We're at
37?
40. We're at 40 million. 40 million. Yeah.
So why is it that we just have like a couple of major cities? We have Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa.
Bro, it's about
Toronto.
livability. Like, yo, look at
Yeah.
up north, bro. Nobody wants to live.
No, but
Where
like-
most of the population is literally at the border
No,
with
but
the
why,
states.
why can't we build throughout Ontario? That's my question. Why can't
Like where throughout Ontario?
Wasn't that because of the Greenbelt deal?
Because if you're talking about like freaking living in like northern Ontario, nobody wants to live there. It's 10 hours away.
No, but like there needs to be like some sort of push to make like I know in the States like
Canada doesn't invest in infrastructure, bro. Look at the infrastructure we
I
even
know.
have in our
I
main
know.
cities.
I'm
We
dreaming.
can't get rid of our
I'm gonna
potholes here,
throw
bro.
this 2 refinery joke at him. But yeah, go
Oh
on.
yeah, they're
No, because like when I worked for Mercedes, they sent me to Alabama
yeah,
to take a look at the factory. So
Nice.
Mercedes built a factory in Alabama
bro.
or
and
Tuscaloosa.
How different was that?
Oh, it's insane. Like you're in a town where like houses are 20K.
Yeah,
Like
Nuts.
it's insane. But it created 5,000 jobs.
yeah.
And it was a tax write-off for the company, which
Yeah.
is great, whatever. But you did create 5,000 jobs in a place that has absolutely nothing.
Well, yo, Canada's government is poorly managed, and like things need to change.
First of
The
all, it's on
immigration
all
policy.
levels. It's on all
On all-
levels.
yeah, on all
Everyone
levels.
thinks it's
Municipal-
just federal. No, it's municipal, provincial, federal.
100%. Like our immigration policy needs to shift because with the amount of student visas they're giving out
Oh, it's insane.
and PRs they're giving out, like I don't know if Trudeau's just trying to win his votes so that he
I think
gets
so.
like pushed back in. But yo, you can't be letting in this many people. They end up homeless. There's like a homeless pandemic in Toronto
Yeah, 10
of
cities.
new immigrants. Of
Yeah, I
immigrants
saw that,
coming in,
yeah.
bro.
I saw that.
Imagine moving to Canada and you're homeless.
Yeah.
Why are they letting people in the first place? You know what I mean? So infrastructure wise, it's never happening.
Yeah.
Canada's not going to invest in infrastructure. We can't even fix potholes in Ottawa.
Well, the
So-
other thing too is a lot of people nowadays, a lot of young people, they don't want to work in construction or trades, and I think that's.
I think, but
Trade-
the-
the
but you know
trade
what?
Definitely has been.
They've
murdered on
been
many
hit,
different levels.
but like the corporations exist to do the work. And if they can't do the work, they're going to third party it out or like contract people out to
you
get
know,
the work done.
You know what? I'll be honest because of that's my game and that's my industry.
Yeah.
The thing about the trades is during this entire, first of all, there was too much money thrown around in COVID.
yeah,
And that was a fact.
absolutely.
And now everybody started the whole working from home thing.
Yeah,
So then next thing you know, you're sitting in this small little piece of shit area in your basement. And then all they do now is they just see their house. So slowly but surely, they're like, okay, you know what? Why don't I go and renovate?
Yeah.
And at some point, the government was actually giving a credit to these employees to be like, okay, you know what? We'll give you like $10,000 to renovate that space of yours or whatever. Let's be very honest. For us to renovate this small space to be an office for 10 grand, you're gonna make it look like fucking paradise for 10
Yeah.
G's. It's a very small. You're not putting up vanities and all this other shit.
yeah.
So what do they start doing? Okay, we'll take 10 G's here. And their reality, we're getting 10,000 free money, but so forget about it. Let's do the entire basement. So now you're 120K in. Oh, you know what? My house value just shot up. I bought this crib for 400G. This is the actual reality of what happened. My house value was 400K. It's up to $1 million now. Let's take out some equity and put some renovations in. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Let's do it. So everybody got busy. The problem is everybody started seeing this. So everybody and their mother were like, you know what? Let me get on the action. Especially the storms, eh?
Yeah.
Because realistically, I specialize in roofing and siding. That's all I really do. The crazy part is everybody and their moms, when you see the storms, bro, it's called storm chasing.
yeah.
They're bolting it there. All you see is 30,000 trucks. Bro, plumbers and electricians are out there trying to make a buck on shingle roofs.
Yeah.
Like it's a bunch of bullshit. So what happened with these guys? So all this money's being thrown out, everyone's making all these renovations and everything. And then what happens is these storms, what do they actually do? Let's say if it affected 10,000 houses.
Okay.
Okay. That was 10,000 houses that should have had their roofs replaced in the next 5 years. What did it do? It condensed it into 1 year.
Yeah.
But when you're at capacity, you're at capacity.
Mhm.
So what do these guys see? These installers, they get money hungry. Oh, you know what? If it's so busy, why don't we just leave and then the poaching starts, or we'll start our own. And then obviously it gets mismanaged in the whole thing. So whoever was able to complete these roofs within this short amount of time, your next 5 years are much slower anyways. Because that was actually going to be your customer base within the 5 years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's how it actually that's what actually storms do.
Yeah.
So the people are like, oh my God, what do you mean? It must be an amazing year for you. No, man. Because the thing is if you're at capacity, you're at capacity.
Yeah.
And you're
Can't
like,
take
okay,
on
you know
junior
what? If
jobs,
you think I'm going to be smart and I'm going to go GC it, bro, the next guy is just as busy.
Yeah.
He has the same issue you do. There's no labor.
Yeah.
So what do? They're like, oh, you know what? Let's get some people from abroad. So you do. And then everyone starts to lie to you. So as an example, what happened was, this is very funny. In the States, you can go to a Home Depot and pick up Mexicans. Not talking shit about Mexicans, but that's just the reality in the States.
Yeah.
And they're great workers, man. Very good workers.
Yeah.
The funny part is that Mexicans don't want to be here. So what do they want? They want to be in the States. So whenever they come here, they crack the code because we always hear about the Mexicans in the States.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, you got Mexicans lining up on my door, don't even have a friggin' visa to work, asking for $35 an hour cash with bagel experience. This exact bagel.
What's bagel mean?
Zero, man.
Oh,
you know what I mean? The
bagel.
hole in the bagel.
I'm like, where's the bagel shop?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Kettleman's, whatever you want,
Yeah.
bro. They have zero experience. So you're like, why the fuck would I pay you $35 an hour? And first of all, who's eating the cost?
Yeah, I'm
The
paying you cash.
homeowner.
Well, you're paying them cash. You can't even like
A lot of
can't even
people
do it.
A lot of
Yeah,
people
exactly.
are strapped to do it. So the thing is, in the end of the day, if you want a better seat at the table, you offer more money.
Yeah.
So the guys in your company, they're like, okay, I'm going to take advantage. That's literally what happens.
Mm.
They're like, I'm going to take advantage. So next thing you know, either they start like a friggin' coup and then either fuck you over that way, or they're going to come and be like, yo, I want $50 an hour. I want $55 an hour. I want this, I want that. So then they get forced to pay them.
That's
But
that.
then who's forking over the cost? The homeowner.
Yeah.
So it's very crazy. So the next thing you know, they have all these red tapes. I can't say which builders, but a bunch of these builders also, they're having issues with the cities and permits. So they're literally stuck on at least 500 to 750 houses on a one plot for phase one. They can't even build until the city hurries up and gets their shit done. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. I know I went on a long tangent, but
Yeah, like it's
all about Dino anyways
No,
here,
but
you know?
it comes down to who's gonna build all the houses. Clearly, nobody.
it's fucking nuts. So you have to keep up with current demand. You're at 1.2 minutes a house has to be built.
But bro, we have
Who's gonna do that?
but we
There's
have
nobody that
some
wants to work anymore.
Yeah.
we
Why
have some insider information, bro. Where like there's a lot of applications in for like places. So
Oh,
you know what
I
I
don't
mean?
even know if that was a good statement to make here, but you know,
Well, we know that there's like a lot of builder applications that are in like a lot for like new corporations and a lot of like buildings and a lot of townhomes and houses. So it's getting done. So in the next couple of years, like a lot of homes are going to get built.
hopefully.
It needs to be at a higher rate. Like it needs to be happening quicker. But there are incentives being pushed out
But how would that
to
help him?
builders.
What's that?
How would that help?
Well, it
him in
won't
any
help
sense?
anything in the short term.
Not the short term, but in the long term, bro. More clients, people coming in,
Builders
more
pay like
houses
shit anyways.
to do it.
No, I don't
Or
know.
are they
Like,
stepping it up?
builders, like the
Some builders offer 2%.
yeah, but it's not even about the percentage. It's just the experience. Sometimes you never know, right? Like some of the builders, like delays and this and that. Like who's bought a new home that hasn't been delayed?
If you
Well, there's tons of them.
if you bring a client to a builder, maybe you're not like double ending, but then you still get your 2% off your
What's
person.
wild to me is you go and spend 1.2 million or whatever at a builder.
You get nothing, bro.
First of all, the amount of deficiencies that come up on the
Oh,
home,
it's insane.
it's insane because all the builders are doing is they're racing for the bottom of the barrel. Whoever gives them the
Yeah.
cheapest price. So how do you
It's-
think these guys are making their money?
Bro, yeah, the quality
it's
difference
copy,
is
paste,
insane.
plug and throw, and that's
So
it. Run away.
let me
Yeah.
ask you this: how I get this question a lot from like some buddies, and how much do you think they're actually making on a new build? Like, let's say a home is let's say Minto's selling a home for $1 million. How much profit do you think they're actually making when it's all said and done?
Yeah.
Probably
know-
30%. No?
You know what? Depending on there's some guys that have their fathers bought these lands in the 70s and 60s for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
They're one of them
They're
did that.
sitting
I'm
on
not
them.
gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who it was, but the father was a genius, and he
Yeah.
bought literally most of like Marival, Bank Street, Carlton Place. They've sat on that land for 50 fucking years, and they just started developing
Makes it pretty easy to say no.
Holy smokes, their profit margins! But I think on a typical with all their overhead and shit, you're making like 250.
250 if the house is $1 million.
Yeah, their long term game is reinvest and just keep
Oh,
doing
yeah,
this.
like
That's
it's-
all it is.
They're not taking any profit. Just keep going and own the city, right? And whatever. And like,
who wouldn't want to jump in on that? But you know,
absolutely,
I don't know how it
absolutely.
would affect you guys because I always felt like working with the builders is just
But
a
yo, if
crazy
we're
experience.
if we're nitpicking with the builders and stuff, it probably just depends. Because like if maybe Mento makes better quality homes, so they put a little more money into it, or
I don't
maybe
know,
like this guy does this.
I
you know?
get missed. Like so far, I think I've gotten mixed reviews on every single builder
Yeah,
from like a lot of clients, and like you, like I don't even. I'm not.
it's just
gonna
not the
say names.
same, bro. Like if you
Yeah.
look at like the early 2000s or like in the 90s,
Well, my parents
You were
bought their
building-
first home in 2003,
yeah,
and there was deficiencies then, and even then, people were saying, "Oh, it's not like it used to be." So like, I don't know. It's
You'll never please everybody.
who knows, right? Like it's
Go to your dad for a second.
yeah,
The OG.
big man.
Is he one of the biggest reasons you wanted to be self-employed since your father was self-employed most of the time? I don't know.
Yeah, like I think a lot of it comes down to the same mentality. Like it's like when we were younger, he had his own business and he would take us on vacations for like during the summer for 40 days. You can't do that if you're an employee, right?
I
Like,
don't know.
how are you going to take a 40-day vacation? Like I remember we went back home to Bosnia one summer. We did like a Euro trip and all this stuff, and it was a 40-day vacation, but it was the best time of my life. It was insane. And like my mom wasn't working, it was just him. So like imagine he was just working a government job. Where would that vacation would
No, 14 days, bro.
it's not happening.
Never.
Even 14 days. What are you talking about, bro? On the like what he'd be making with the government and this and that, like
No way.
there's no way it's happening. Right? Like it's obviously different times, and that was probably what, like 15, 18 years ago or something like that. But yeah, definitely I'd say like we have a similar mentality where it's hard for us to we're a little bit hard-headed, so it's hard for us to
a little bit.
take orders, you know. But yeah, like yeah, man, like I'd say I think if somebody's thinking, you know, is it tough to be self-employed? Yeah, it is. Is it tough to work somebody? Yeah, it is. Pick which hard you want. Right? Like I think you're similar in that way. Like I don't think you could ever have somebody manage you. Maybe your wife, but I don't know.
Yeah, right. That's a partnership.
Yeah,
That's a team.
exactly, right?
Take a look at the camera, buddy. Make sure we're good to go, like, you know, tip top Magoo. I love Joey Diaz, by the way. That guy.
Yeah, Joey
fucking-
Diaz.
His stand-up sucks ass, but his storytelling
Bro,
is
his
literally on
stories-
steroids.
I gotta show you one after. It's
What happened?
fucking great.
Yeah, you're right, bro. Fucking some people just don't get it, bro. When it comes to entrepreneurship, you got to be on.
Say
you
that
gotta
on
be
camera. Why are you so shy, bro? You know?
What?
Are we on camera now?
No, we're
Or?
not.
No.
Well, mine's rolling, I think.
Yeah. Save the content, though. You gotta save the content.
Yeah.
Okay, then continue talking shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. Like a lot of people just don't get it. It's hard. It's hard either way, but it's way harder to be an entrepreneur, but it's way more rewarding. You just got to see it through. And there is no like. I personally think when this question happens all the time, like what advice would you give to somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur? Like what advice would you give for someone in this industry? You just have to fucking do it. Like
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
have to go do it and take your chances and like be committed and be consistent. Because that's the cheat code for life, right?
Yeah.
It's consistency.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the fuck you're
And it
doing.
took me years to find that out.
That's a fact.
Years.
It is the cheat code to life. If you want to be successful in any possible industry, you have to be consistent. And if you're consistent, it compounds.
whatever that job needs, whatever it needs that takes one thing a day to do that thing every single day and watch the results.
It's compounding. It's compounding interest the same way as if you put like $1,000 into an investment account, and then that $1,000, you're making pennies.
Yeah.
But once that $1,000 turns to 100,000, well, now you're seeing some actual returns. You know what I mean? It's all compounding interest.
Daily
consistency.
deposits, right?
100%,
every
bro.
day.
We definitely live in an interesting time because a lot of the, like, let's be very honest, man. When you're on the grind, you're on the grind,
Mhm.
right? Since you have to create your own schedule, you got to find your own business, you got to hunt your own food, you got to do whatever.
But Yusuf, they don't know they don't know what you mean by that. I'm
Until
telling
they
you,
do-
like
until they
you
do
saying
it.
I'm on the grind, and you too. Like a lot of people don't understand what that means. They think
I think it's a joke.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
it's a
joke.
Oh, this guy's grinding. This
Bro,
guy's
on the grind is not your employee schedule.
No.
On the grind is like it's running through your mind all day.
day.
You're thinking about it all night. You wake up to it, and you're just thinking about developing more and more and more. Like with real estate, bro. Like client retention, client reach out, what you're doing here, what you're doing there. You always have to be presentable. You always have to be ready for. You never know who a client may be, right?
Bro, I've done things for clients that that they don't even know what I went through to my schedule, and I don't tell them because I don't need them to be
and
feel bad.
It's in your free time. Like that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of volunteer hours.
Yeah,
it's a lot of volunteer hours so that you can make that check. And you know what I mean? You got to really put in that time. As an employee, you're not putting in volunteer hours. You're getting paid by the hour. You know what you're getting paid.
You have no incentive to work harder.
No, and every 2 weeks, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
But when you own your own business, you do not know what's coming. Whether that's a lot or if that's absolutely nothing. And you got to be prepared for both.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's such a different game. So you saying like, you know, you're in grind mode or you saying that.
I was getting to a point, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, well, I feel people just don't get it, bro.
My point was a lot of guys, I don't know if this has affected you, but I'm married with a couple kids, but I've had my wife before my business.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, especially in your shoes, because they were always on the grind, how it's affected so many of them of even finding love or relationships.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I genuinely don't have the fucking time.
So I think that excuse, I don't have the time, is you don't have the time in your current schedule. I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it's, you got to plan your life out. I think that's
that's a very big challenge for a lot of people.
And it's not easy. Like that's I agree. Like, yeah, maybe, you know, there was actually one of my colleagues, she was asking me, like, oh, like where do you meet new people? Or like, how did you meet your girlfriend and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm only attracting these certain type of guys, or I'm only attracting these kind of guys. I'm like, well, where are you looking? Oh, well, I go to the bar, I go to this, or I go to that.
Like, what are you gonna?
But like, I'm like, okay, so what do you like to do? Do you like sports? Do you like certain activities? You know, do you like rock climbing? Why don't you go to the rock climbing gym? See if you can meet guys.
Like, yo, if you're looking for a handyman, go to Home Depot and look confused. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
See, we got better game than most girls, but they don't even know how to pick guys up.
Man. Professional. But that's what a lot of the answers I was getting before is a lot of guys. One of my good boys, Tito, he works like 16-hour days.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, when are you going to get married, man? You're getting old.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I want family. I want a kid. I want this. I want that. He's like, bro, I'm fucking working from 6 in the morning till 9 o'clock.
Bro, he doesn't want as much as he wants because like this brother's 100% correct. Doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur.
Let's be very honest. No, I got to cut him off on that one.
No, if you're honest. Bro, there's employees. There's people who have their regular jobs.
Why did you become a business owner?
Wait. Like me, I'll answer that. That become desensitized and they become so it's a corporate structure.
Yeah.
They become so much about their job that they don't look at their social life and they don't take care of their mental health. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or you're.
Why did you open up your own business?
For freedom, financial freedom and freedom of time.
Okay. And what is that going to result to? You have kid?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is that going to happen? How's that going to benefit her?
More time with the family.
Exactly. But what about the building phase?
Zero time with the family.
You know what I'm saying? So you're sacrificing now.
But where is he at? Is that
but how long is the building phase? If you're in the building phase for 10 years,
that's
he's not in the first of all, most businesses go bankrupt within 3 to 5.
No, but I'm saying like where is he at?
He's in that phase right now.
But we're talking about time management because some people
5
are in
years
the
is
building.
a long time.
But here's the thing, okay? Because we can talk about a business transitioning in its phases, but we can also talk about a person transitioning. There are some people that go into grind mode and do not know how to get out of grind mode.
Yeah.
So even though their business is flourishing, they're still under the I'm fucking busy. I'm 9 to 9. I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to transition themselves. So that's a point to
that's a very valid point. But what I'm talking about is a lot of these people that are first building their businesses. Because the ones that are very well established, that's not who I'm talking about.
Well, how long does it take to build a business, bro?
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 for what industry?
For a majority of them.
Yeah, but like, let me ask you this. Does he have absolutely zero? He has no days a week that he can go hang out with somebody?
Listen, that's an excuse, could not be an excuse. I'm asking in your opinion. Do you feel like, with making, because let's be honest, realtors, what are you guys giving up? Nights and weekends.
Yeah.
Why? Because in reality, most of us are working 9 to 5s or whatever, and then we're available for showings after. Yeah. So I'm saying, how does that take a toll? That didn't forget about love life. Just in general, that you're always sacrificing your evenings and whatever. So how do you manage?
What I've been managing is using the do not disturb button on my phone.
Fucking right, man. You have to.
Yeah.
Because there's and that doesn't mean I won't answer my clients. That means that on 8 p.m. on a Saturday, there's nothing I can do to help you with a real estate transaction.
Yeah.
There's absolutely zero things I can do to help you buy this home or help you sell this home.
Yeah.
We're making an offer. Great. It can wait till 8 a.m. the next day. Like there's like what's gonna happen at 9 o'clock at night? Nothing.
But a lot of people don't know that. Like in your opinion, as a realtor,
bro. Imagine that offer comes in,
hold on.
and somebody puts a condition where it's like you got to fucking answer by.
Well, this is my question to you: is what do a lot of these people that are trying to come into the industry as a realtor don't really actually know as a realtor and a seasoned realtor like yourself of what you really have to give up? What's all that fucking dirt that you guys got to go through that they obviously don't know about?
There's a lot of
not selling Sunset.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No, the selling Sunset. So somebody did the research on it. They sell like one house a year, man.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of realtors out there. So I'll give you another stat. So 50% of the Ottawa Real Estate Board, which is the Ottawa Real Estate, so that's from Cornwall to Ottawa to Brockville to Arnprior.
Sell nothing.
They sell probably 5 homes a year.
Yeah.
Which is what, half a house a month?
Yeah.
Not even.
You say, there's a stat too, like Toronto. I think there's like what 70,000 realtors.
Yeah, but
only like 1% of all those realtors actually make sales.
So in Toronto, people get their licenses part-time all the time.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like I think out of those 7,000, I think 4,000 are have their license. Sorry, 3,000 have it parked, which means they're not getting charged any dues or fees by the real estate board.
Yeah.
But they have a license that's active.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the nights and the weekends, but a lot of people don't know.
Okay, so let's go back. So yeah, nights and weekends. What do I do? Like I might have a busy Saturday. I might be doing 6-7 showings all over Ottawa. Right? But how do I do that? I plan ahead. You know, I have a client tell me, "Hey, Dean, I want to go see, these 7 homes the next couple of days." Okay, great. Well, I'm available from this and this time. Right?
When are you available? What's your schedule? You're open.
Well, it depends on what I have planned, right? I got to check the schedule. So if me and the girl have dinner at 7 p.m. on Saturday, well, I'm in meetings from 7 till 10 p.m. on Saturday.
I love it.
This guy's a girl this whole time. I just threw you under the bus. Yeah, this guy can't find. He's on Love Island.
I never said that. No, I said it earlier.
He said he had a girl, bro.
No, but like
glasses are blocking my hearing, bro.
No, but that's the thing, right? Like it's like we're in a different market now. Like I understood it before when, it was really busy when like houses were selling in a day and this and that.
Yeah.
But like then you could also fix it then too. You could be more prepared for that property. Okay, this house is listed for 500 and I did the market research. It took me 20 minutes to do market research on it. Hey, Mr. Client, Mr. and Mrs. Client, by the way, this house is listed at 500. It's probably going to sell in the range of 580 to 610. Does that make sense for you? Yes or no? Okay, do you even want to see it? Because it's going to have a bidding war. And by the way, they just got an offer already and they're going to present offers tomorrow. Simple as that. You just have to address it. But I think one of my real estate coaches that I've been very thankful that I've had him, and he's been really helping me a lot realize this stuff. He asked me, what's my goal? How many houses I want to sell? Okay, great. Now next year, do you want to sell the same amount of houses or do you want to sell more? And I said, well, probably more. He said, okay, what if you sold the same amount of houses in less time?
That's valid.
Right? So what if you said, okay, let's say your goal is 50 houses this year. Okay, great. How can you're going to do 50 houses in 12 months? How can you do next year 50 houses in 10 months or 11 months? You have 2 months vacation with the same amount of money.
That's a better way to look at it.
That's a very better way to look at it.
Or, 10 years from now, you want to sell 100 houses. You have a team, you have this, you have that. You're building up the same way that you guys are selling 150 homes a year and you're taking 3 months vacation. What's wrong with that?
No, it's a fact.
Right?
So that coach, was that from your brokerage or is that you actually
No, it's from a coaching program. So it's something that we do a little bit extra, but he's helped in 3 months. He's made a huge difference in a lot of my lifestyle stuff and a lot of my business stuff too. Cause I'm reaching more people. I'm working smarter, not harder. And I've always been that's been a big thing for me is how can I get the best results with putting the least amount of work?
That's a fact,
right?
Man.
Having a mentor is important, bro. 100%.
Right? And yeah, like that's another thing too. I would recommend anybody looking to get into real estate, get somebody you trust or get somebody that knows what they're doing and listen to them and let them teach you.
Get a coach.
Get a coach. Do you have a coach or do you have somebody that mentors you or has mentored you in the past?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how much has that helped you?
Exponentially.
Yeah. Like
people think that, you know what, let me just do it myself as if there's nobody out there that can actually help and boost your business and the amount of money you're making in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
It's crazy what coaches can do, but continue.
But yeah, like it's a huge thing, man. Like surrounding yourself with people that are either above you or better than you or know more than you is a big tool because you're in the end going to know more as well.
100%.
What about your circle of friends? A lot of realtors or no?
No, it's just like, yeah, like I have like a lot of realtor friends that are like, I'm part of a team. So,
Your personal life, out of work.
Personal life, out of
the
work.
homies.
Not really. The friends are like all over, right? Like they're all in kind of different jobs. Not really that many realtor friends.
Not many entrepreneurs.
Yeah, some entrepreneurs. But yeah, like it's mostly employee and like 50-50. I'd say 50% employees, 50% entrepreneurs.
Sometimes it's annoying to be around too many entrepreneurs. It just doesn't shut off.
Too many alphas.
It doesn't shut off.
Everybody thinks they know everything best, right?
Exactly. So, that's Mr.
Bro.
Know-It-All right here.
No,
Thank you so much, Dino.
This guy, I sit with him for 5 minutes. This guy wants to sell me something immediately, bro.
Bullshit is bullshit.
No,
bullshit.
but bro, like, I'll get into this stuff. Like, how many people think they know how to sell houses better than me?
Oh, everybody.
Everybody. Bro, people think every
client and their dad.
Yeah, they think I put my sign in the ground and okay, wait, where's my cash? Time to get my cash for this house that I need to sell. That's it. Put a sign in the ground, you get paid. That's it. But they don't remember I made 50 outbound calls. I sent 150 emails. I talked to 30 clients. I did 20 showings. They don't know anything about that.
Open houses.
Yeah, I wasted 2 of my Sundays doing open houses where one person showed up.
And then they complain, oh, why do you deserve this much commission? When in reality, even if it was
I spent 30 hours on your damn house.
Yeah.
And if you were to sell it yourself, you're leaving money on the table anyways.
Well, yeah. Like
they're always leaving money on the table. They can get obviously more value out of a realtor. Realistically, I find most of the time the realtors pay for themselves almost.
Yeah, bro. I think, well, what's the stat? Like, I think 98% of homeowners that try to sell their house on them, like themselves,
they
don't sell or they sell it for less than market value every single time. It's a full blown stat. So
no, same thing with cars. When I like, those
try to defend yourself in court without a lawyer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like you want to practice the law yourself and do it yourself. Sure,
but nobody gets that. Bro.
You can take a hit at that, but hire a professional.
Same thing with like on Auto Trader. You see those private sellers on Auto Trader. You know how many times I've ever wanted to buy a car from one of those guys? 0 times. There's 3 pictures. The guy's taking a picture of his steering wheel.
Oh my God, bro. 0.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
Or you go to a dealership. Hey, here's the Carfax. Here's the 35 pictures we took in high def so you could see every single scratch on the car. Yeah. If there is any. Yeah, the car has 40,000 kilometers. There's scratches on it. It's used, obviously, right? It's we did this on it. We did this maintenance on it. We're going to clean it for you. We're going to gas it up for you. Yada, yada, yada. So it's like, yeah, you're spending maybe $1,000 more than this guy that you found on Kijiji or a private seller. But like, what car are you buying?
I find a lot of the times they should research. My advice to anybody, especially for cars, is research the actual business that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Especially what the values and ethics. You know what? I'll always praise Tony Graham. Tony Graham was actually one of the only dealerships I worked at where literally I had customers coming in that would bring their friend as their negotiator.
Oh,
and they'll actually, the funny part is it would actually be the other way around.
Yeah.
The guy'd be like, this is Tony Graham. You walk in, you close your eyes and you buy it. Like, that's how trusted the brand is.
Yeah.
And I remember I went in there with the Dilawri mentality because you know how Dilawri is. They're fucking, if you don't hammer them and hustle them, you get in trouble. Yeah. And actually, sometimes if you don't go and pummel that deal into that guy, the manager will be like, I'm going to do it. And then you can go the fuck home.
That's crazy.
So you're like, okay, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So next thing you know, you go do it. You feel like shit. So I thought that's what all dealerships were like. So I went to Tony Graham. The owner comes up to me and I did the same deal because you can't sell over MSRP.
No.
And I fucking nailed it over MSRP. You don't feel good doing it, but you're like, fuck, this is just the nature of the business.
It's your monthly payment and off you go.
Bro, the owner comes up and she's like, if you think I'm just going to fuck you up here today, I'm going to hurt you so bad that even your grandkids are going to feel it. You think you're going to come and ruin my father's name?
Yeah.
We have ethics. We have this. We have that here. She almost fired me. I'm like, hallelujah.
Wow.
I'm finally at a place that wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're going to get paid 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how sleazy that industry is. So my advice to anybody is actually do the research on the business you're buying from. You know what I mean?
That's the big thing when I switched from Nissan to Mercedes. That's the first thing I noticed. It was like, wow, I can sell a car and make it easy here, and I don't have to make a customer feel like shit.
And you don't have to play a conscious battle with yourself, being like, yo, I just ripped them off because my fucking manager.
My manager's sending me back to get $5 more per month.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
over 82 months, that's such a, like, come on, man. It's like, it's an extra $800 profit, man. Like, what does it matter, man?
I know.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I get it. They're running a business and they're getting it from the top up, from the top down. Sorry. And yeah, man, I don't know. The car industry, very, very weird place. Am I glad I experienced it? Definitely. Did I learn a lot? Absolutely. But very, very weird place.
Dino, it's a pleasure, my brother. We're running out of time.
Let's do it.
Okay, my man. We're gonna do
Signing
another.
off.
That's it. We're
Thank you for having
signing
me.
off. Anybody out there? One of the best skills and that everybody should go for is sales.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say it's helped you exponentially in your
changed
life,
my life
all around.
for sure.
Same with you. You know what I mean? Get yourself a coach, all that. We'll see you next time. We're signing off. If you like what you saw, like, share, and subscribe.